guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at Yngwie style Phrygian Dominant. Now if you don't know what Phrygian Dominant is, stay tuned. You're going to find out exactly what it is, how you can use it, and if you already know, you might learn a few things here about how Yngwie applies things like diminished seventh arpeggios and creates riffs and modulates the harmonic minor back and forth from Phrygian Dominant. So we're going to get into that in just a second. Before we get going on this, check down below, please, in the description box. I've got a free sweep picking guide called Sweep Picking Boot Camp. And if you're having trouble with the little sweep picking licks in this video, then this free course will help you out. So check that out. Also, I've included the jam track for this, so you can download that for free as well down below and try this out for yourself. All right, let me show you the notes of Phrygian Dominant. We have E, we have F. It's important to kind of think about the intervals here too. So the E would be our root, F would be the flat second, G sharp, so notice, big jump here, that's the major third. This is the note that's changed from the Phrygian mode. The regular Phrygian mode just has the flat third, which would be a half step back. You would have this. But now we've changed this note from G to G sharp, and that becomes a major third. Right there, just that interval leap conjures up all sorts of things, at least it does in my mind, where it starts to sound a little bit Middle Eastern, Spanish, you could think of it that way. It kind of just has that exotic sound to it. It really brings that sound forward. And the rest of the notes are the same as the regular Phrygian mode in the key of E. So we'd have the fourth A, fifth is B, flat six is C, flat seven is D, and then go back to the root. And you can really start to hear this, how that major third brings out a different sound, a different feeling when you play it in higher octaves. So if we started here, let's say E, F, G sharp, A, B, C, D, E. So that's 9, 10 on the G, 9, 10 on the B, 12B, 8 high E, 10 high E, and then back to the root. Take that up to 13, and then you have your flat second. 16 all the way up here, and you have your major third there. Okay, so if I went back down, notice the half steps between the root and the flat second. Great for trills and things like that, which you saw me play on the backing track there. And also between the flat third and the fourth, there's a half step. But it's that big jump from the flat second all the way to the major third, which gives this mode its sound. Okay. So the riff starts out in the key of E, E Phrygian Dominant, and it's using notes from that scale. So it's 4, 1, open E, back to 4. And then, so notice that kind of sets up the sound I'm going for. And we're just chugging. E, F, riff. If you remember, those are notes from the scale, then we're just building a power chord on it. back to the riff. That's the whole first part of the riff. Now, if you're not sure, you know, if a chord should be major or minor, you can investigate that further. But one thing you can do is just build power chords on each note from the scale. So if you know the notes of the scale, build a root 5 power chord, and you're going to get the basic chords without the third in them from the scale. And you can create a lot of metal riffs that way. Okay, always good to know if it should be a major or a minor and so forth. But in this case, we're using power chords anyway. So, okay, and that's the first riff. Now the transition that goes to the key of A is when it goes down the scale. I set it up by going 3 to C, B, A, 4. There's the G sharp. And then resolving it to an A, so that sets up my key change. Okay, I'm going to change back to E too, so I need another transition for that, and I'll show you that in a sec. So, here's the first transition. Oops, try that again. Now we're in the key of A. Remember those half steps, right? B and C. That's E to F, and the harmonies using the D to E. And then when it goes up here, we have the G sharp to A. There's a little harmony track. So really there's 3 half steps, from B to C, E to F, and G sharp to A. Very cool. All right, so that's when we're in the key of A, we just have and so that's right down the harmonic minor scale. Same notes as E Phrygian. And then we're back to the riff in A. Okay, that was transition number 2. This is using something Yngwie does all the time, which is the diminished 7th arpeggio. Now this uses notes from the scale. It's 4 notes. It's G sharp in B, and then D to F. And then we repeat those. And then we resolve it to E. This creates tension. And there's the resolution as we come out on E. So that's a 4-note arpeggio, diminished 7th arpeggio. Any note can be the root here. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second when I show you a couple sweep arpeggios. Okay, so that's the transition though back to the key of E. So it comes out. Back to the riff. Okay, and that's really it for the whole backing track. At the end, there's a little, very Yngwie style lead line going over the chords there. And all the chords are there just so you have all the rhythm parts here. Okay, and it's just A, B, C, D, F, E, F, B, A, and then this this chord. So that's just E over G sharp. The G sharp's in the bass. And then resolving to A. 5-1 cadence, classical music. So the 5 chord to the 1 chord, very common in classical music. 5 major chord, I should say, to the 1 minor. Okay, so that is the rhythm, all the rhythm parts. And over the top of that, what would I use to solo? Phrygian Dominant, right? Over the E section. I didn't do a solo on the A part because I wanted you to really focus there on the modulation to the new key. But if you were going to solo over that, you could play A harmonic minor or just A aeolian mode over that. So when you're jamming, you can do that. The E Phrygian Dominant, what I did was just use notes from the scale in general. E Phrygian notes. Phrygian Dominant notes, I should say. One pattern I like a lot is this at the top. I think I showed you. I like that, how you can go from and play 4 notes on a string here. 13, 12, 10, 9, and then 10, 9 on the G. So you'd have 13, 12, 10 on the high E, 13, 12, 10, 9 on the B string, and then 10, 9, resolving to the root there. And little trills, hammer-ons, pull-offs. You can pick all the notes if you want. I like the slide there. Also going ascending. And using those half steps as bends. So you can bend from the B to the C, the E or to the F, or even the G sharp to the A. So definitely experiment with that. The diminished 7th arpeggio that I talked about earlier, if we arrange this as a sweeping 3-string arpeggio on the top 3 strings, we arrive at, starting with the highest note, G sharp, pull off to F, D, and B. And the picking pattern would be up, up, and then down, down, down. Now, the cool thing about this is you can play this every 3 frets, and it's going to contain the same notes, just in a different order. That's one of the really cool things about the diminished 7th arpeggio. Now, if you think about how do you know where to start from? You could start from any of those 4 notes that I mentioned: G sharp, B, D, or F. Any of the notes you could start this shape on. I'll show you what I mean. So let's start on G sharp, F, same exact shape, D, or B. And if we go here, we're back to G sharp, right? And the way I think about it, just to keep it in my head, I always think about basing it off the flat second of the Phrygian, because that's kind of the note that makes Phrygian what it is. So in this case, in the key of E would be F, that second note. That's the first thing I think of, and then I also think you can play it off of the major third. So if you're in a key that you're not familiar with, you can quickly do the math. If you were A Phrygian, A sharp, or B flat, you could start it. Or the major third of A would be C sharp. You could play it from there too. And then you have the other 2 options as well. So I think what I did in the improv was just play this like that. Twice on the G sharp, and then kind of sliding. And then resolving that. Very Yngwie sounding. Uses it all the time. It's very useful. You could play these. There's a lot of ways to play these. And this would be like a 16th note triplet, 6 notes per beat kind of a thing. Okay, now the ending section goes into that little chord sequence that I told you about. What we're going to do is we're going to play right up the harmonic minor scale. Okay, because we've modulated back to the key of A here. And we're going to start out with, it's a 6-note sequence and it follows the same pattern. We're just going to change places on the fretboard. Again, very Yngwie style here. This is all alternate picked. That's 7, 4, 5, and then 7, 5, 4. Okay, and then move it up. It's 8, 5, 7, and then 8, 7, 5. Same pattern. Okay, and then we're going to move up again. 10, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. 8, move it up again. 12. It's 12, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8. And then we're going to play this, descending. Very cool pattern here. It's that same pattern of notes, but we're playing, this time we're going to play across the strings instead of on one string. It's 13, 10, 12, and then 13, 12, 10 on the high E. Go to the B string and play 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9. Then play 10 on the G string. We're playing 10, 7, 9, 10, 9, 7. Then on the D string, we're going to play 9, 6, 7, 9, 7, 6. And resolve it to A, which is 7 on the D string. So you put that together. Okay, and one last thing is this A minor sweep arpeggio, 5-string sweep to end it. All right, and what that is just your garden variety 5-string minor shape. Hammer on from 12 to 15 on the A string, and then sweep across. With a downstroke, we're going to play 14D, 14G, 13B, 12 high E, high upstroke on 17 on the high E, pull off to 12, up on 13, up on 14, G, up on 14D, up on 15A, downstroke, 12th fret, A string. So, slow. Then we're going to play just a little same chords we did here, but up an octave. All right, and that's it. I just gave away all of Yngwie's secrets. He's going to be pissed. But hopefully this gives you a good, if not introduction, at least some new material to work with. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Make sure and grab that free sweep picking guide down below so you can nail the sweeps that are in this lesson, and the jam track as well. Okay, and I'll talk to you later for a new video real soon. Thanks a lot. Rock on.